it was always about sports. It's not something that we pushed. It was like a moth to a light. It wasn't something that you could deny. It was nature.
He definitely had a predisposition for judo at a young age. He was always good at it, that's for sure. That was not the case for me. I had to put a lot of effort to get remotely good.
I think he was extremely charismatic. That's like the way I remember him. He really cared about people. If you were in his presence, like you felt that he actually cared about you. You weren't just another person in the room. Like, and a lot of times, like you'll be in rooms of people and you'll be like, do I even exist in this room right now? But that was never a thing with him. He always showed his charisma. I think that was one of his better traits and definitely unique.
Jack, as a person, was special.
When he was around people, he made them feel comfortable. Whether they were the biggest champion of all or, people that still had a lot of growing to do on the mat. He had a way of kind of tearing those walls down and being authentic. I really miss that a lot about him.
Jack was great. I really couldn't ask for more of a friend. We went through a lot of stuff together. My biological brother passed away. Jack really became another brother to me, and he even said that to me. He even said, hey, we're brothers now, so keep your chin up.
I'm from a big family, but he was just like a little brother.
He was really an advocate for the person who gets bullied. He grew into somebody who was a champion for weak people, for people who had disabilities, for people who were different, for people who didn't feel included. And he felt everybody's pain. And as a parent, you're very, very proud of that.
We were like two peas in a pod. The best way I would describe him is somebody who is extremely competitive, but very caring and considerate at the same time.
Jack was a great friend. Always there, for everything. He really always did see the good in people. He was always very empathetic of people's situations and just very understanding. That's something everyone should try to be more like.
He was really caring. He had a really good heart. He was just so sweet and open and warm. He was a really good person.
Jack was a feeling. And it's an undescribable feeling. It's a feeling of being like home with your family for Christmas or Thanksgiving. I was really, really lucky to have that feeling of home in Jack.
He was one of my oldest judo friends. We used to fight as kids and we'd say like, one day, we're gonna go to the Olympics. Being on the journey with him was the best time of my life.
I think the Olympics were always a goal. I would say within a year or two of ever starting judo. Jack loved throwing people, but especially people bigger than him. He loved to try to throw people who he wasn't supposed to be able to throw.
He's probably the most annoying judo player in the world, I would say. He's like relentless too, it's pretty great.
Iron lung. Jack was never tired. Never tired. He'll get up
go, get up, go. It's insane.
The guy who would never, ever, 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 ever give up. He would fight and he'd be grip fighting, and all of his matches would go into golden score. And even when we were training in the dojo, it was like he was always in your face, and you could see it on the people's faces that he was fighting. It was like the deeper the match went, the more the other person didn't want to be there, and the more Jack wanted to be there.
He was the king of golden score, man.
He didn't win because he was more technical or because he had some kind of ace up his sleeve. He won because he was relentless.
Jack always showed up. As an athlete, as a competitor, he motivated me with his heart. He was one of the best competitors that I ever saw come out of USA Judo. Even if he was feeling off, he would still give everything he had. He would fight to the very end, and that's something that I always admired.
How can you fight for 15 minutes straight? Every single fight, go into golden score, and just hang in until he won. Just so resilient.
I'd say a word that defines him would be unrelenting. He didn't give up. He had a way of digging deeper and deeper, and he conjured up strength from other areas and used it and was able to harness it in ways that would get him the win, or come back in the end of a match to force it into overtime and then still steal the guy's soul and win. And I don't know what his source of power was, or his superpower to be able to go 20 minutes a match sometimes, but he had it. And that fighting spirit, I used to look at it in awe. He was really inspiring, and I was really honored to be in his chair for some of those wars. Sometimes I was so moved by it, by the end of these matches, that it felt like I went through it with him, even though he was the one out there fighting that battle.
He loved it. He always thought that it was an honor to be on the mat.
I love him as a person. I miss him every day, and I think that when we're at tournaments, you miss that day where you can see him fight and go into golden score with either number 300 in the world or number 1 in the world. Doesn't matter who it is. It's going to be a long match. So we miss that. We miss the tenacity. We miss moments with him, and I'm sure I'm not alone in that.
It's tough to look over and not see him.
I still miss him. And I still think back to our conversations, and it still brings a smile to my face. He's still somehow a positive part of my life throughout all the pain that we all went through. I still hold on to all those memories, and it gets me through a lot of tough days, thinking about all the positivity he gave me. And I'd like to thank him for that.
His laugh, especially if something was really funny to him, and that's the number one thing I'll never forget and want to remember the most.
I miss you a ton, Jack. You're often the first and the last person I think about during the day. And because you helped shape me so much through everything we've been through, anything I accomplish is something that we accomplish.
I never had to be anybody else with him, ever. Thank you for letting me be me.
I would want them to take some piece of inspiration away from what he accomplished and who he was and from his life.
I would like them to remember him. I would like them to remember.